Jussie Smollett is out on bail and is still claiming he is innocent. The Empire actor's lawyer said in a statement that Smollett, quote, feels betrayed by a system that apparently wants to skip due process and proceed directly to sentencing. Others who feel he's guilty say they feel betrayed that the actor made up a story to the police and the media. And today, we've learned that Empire will be removing Jussie Smollett's character Jamal from the final 2 episodes of the season. Dean Reynolds is in Chicago, where Smollett is facing up to 3 years in prison.
Step over, please. Jussie Smollett has made a living performing in front of television cameras, but on Thursday, he wanted nothing to do with them as he walked out of a Chicago jail. Earlier in court, Smollett sat impassively as the judge told the 36-year-old actor that the charges, if true, are utterly outrageous. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson was also visibly angry.
Why would anyone, especially an African-American man, use the symbolism of a noose to make false accusations?
Smollett had told police last month he was attacked by masked Trump supporters who hung a rope around his neck and doused him with an unknown chemical, all while yelling racist and homophobic slurs. Johnson said it was all a publicity stunt to get Smollett a bigger salary on Empire.
My concern is that hate crimes will now publicly be met with a level of skepticism that previously didn't happen.
Johnson said Smollett's story started unraveling last week after police arrested 2 men Smollett would later say were his attackers. But they turned out to be friends of his, Ola and Abel Osundairo. After 2 days of questioning, the brothers said Smollett had actually hired them to stage the attack, even giving them $100 to buy supplies. Assistant State's Attorney Risa Lanier.
Defendant Smollett further detailed that he wanted Abel to attack him, but not hurt him too badly, and to give him a chance to appear to fight back.
Prosecutors say Smollett wrote Abel Osundairo a personal check for $3,500 and sent him a text message 4 days before the attack that read, "Might need your help on the low."
Absolute justice would be an apology to this city that he smeared.
CBS News national correspondent Dean Reynolds has been following this story from Chicago. So, Dean, Smollett's lawyers are insisting he is innocent. What do we know about how they plan to defend him?
Well, they are probably going to first talk about all of the community service that Smollett has provided over the many years out in California and perhaps here as well. But I think what we'll see is them go after those 2 central witnesses, the Osundairo brothers, who are on this case. Their testimony is the thing that really turned the whole case around and put it in the direction of Jussie Smollett. Now, beyond that, they are already, releasing statements that were critical of the way that these charges were announced. They've been critical of the police superintendent, Eddie Johnson. They claim that, this is trying to sentence somebody before there's even a trial. So their avenues are, at least if you believe the evidence, are limited, but there are avenues there.
And what they sort of alluded to was what you just brought up, which was the superintendent's presentation yesterday. He didn't just lay out the facts. It was clear that he was emotional about this, that he was angered by this, that to a certain degree, he took it personally as a black man in Chicago. Anybody who's sort of watched our general coverage of Chicago knows we talk about the murders and gun violence in Chicago. But can you just explain, because you live there, why the police superintendent would have taken this so personally?
Well, I think he believed, and I think he believed correctly, that he was sort of channeling the anger in the city as a whole. If true, Jussie Smollett has besmirched the whole city, not just African Americans in the city, but the whole city, because keep in mind, part of the story is that these were, Trump supporters who were attacking Smollett because of his race, because of his gender. And I think Eddie Johnson, who I've covered for quite a few years, was legitimately angry about what went down, and specifically angry about the use of a noose for political reasons, but also for reasons that had to do with an increased salary for Smollett.
Dean, you've been covering this story from the very beginning. I know you'll be on it as we wait to see what happens next. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.